The team working on this project is Andrea Lutu from Telefónica, Fabián Bustamante from Northwestern University, and myself from University Carlos III in Madrid. We have a long time collaboration, the three of us. We have been working on related topics before, and we are happy to continue our collaboration using in the context of this project. Recently, there are some new players on the mobile communications field, that is, providers that aggregate multiple providers and provide a global coverage using multiple agreements with multiple traditional mobile network operators. The most well-known of them is Google Fi. Google Fi is an aggregator of mobile providers and allows you to connect to different MNOs, to different mobile network operators, depending on where you are in the plan. And this depends on, in addition to the agreements that they have, on the coverage, on the quality of the signal, and to actually dynamic real-time metrics that they do to check that the service is better. So this is a fairly new service, has a couple of years, it's commercially available, and there is very little known about this service, right? And in particular, it's very little known about the performance of this service. In particular, if this is better or worse than traditional operators, and whether they live up to the promise to provide an enhanced performance. In particular, this type of service is very attractive in a global context when you're roaming. Why? Because you'll locally connect to the best provider that is available. So the purpose of this project is to compare Google Fi service and other potentially service aggregators like Google Fi, compare the service that they provide with the service offered by traditional operators, in particular in the context of roaming. For this, we're going to hire the service of Google Fi in the US, which is where the service is available, and we're going to ship the Google Fi SIMs to Europe and compare the service offered by Google Fi with local operators in Europe and US operators while roaming in Europe, and see whether they offer better or worse performance than the incumbent operator. We think that this is particularly interesting in the case of roaming because normally traditional operators, while roaming, they use what they call home routing, meaning that all traffic is diverted, must pass through the home network in order to reach the internet. This supposes a severe penalty in terms of latency because of the lag, especially between Europe and the United States. You need to go all back. If you're roaming if you have a US SIM that is roaming in Europe, all the traffic needs to go back to the US and then reach the internet. We would like to find out, for instance, if services like Google Fi actually do this or not, and in general, whether they benefit from like these real-time metrics and extended coverage and things like this. The impact of our project, we expect we will be able to learn about these new players. We think that these new players can significantly change the mobile market because they provide very competitive prices, and if on top of that they provide enhanced performance, I think this will become a significant change in the mobile market landscape. This is also some kind of a bit of a revolution in the sense that is Google entering in the mobile network operators business. So they don't run, and more interestingly, they don't really run a network. They do an over-the-top type of service. If big players such as Google or any of these others start competing with mobile operators and they are able to provide better service, right, better performance, then probably this will significantly, radically change the mobile market. That's basically what we're trying to understand a bit better. The results that we're expecting is essentially to be able to understand better this type of services, assess the real benefits that they provide, and whether this is a workable solution and attractive solutions for users, and whether we will expect to see more of these players entering into this market or not. NGI-Atlantic.eu, bridging EU-US research on next-generation internet. NGI-Atlantic.eu, bridging EU-US research on next-generation internet.